On this week's Waypoint, Yoshi P takes to the forums, Live Letter 10 delivers the goods, and patch 2.1 gets a target release date. What's up, guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV recap for November 29th, 2013. I'm your host, Kat Andresco. It's been a few weeks, and I hope you had a great holiday, but it's time to get back to business. A few days before Live Letter 10 aired, Yoshi P took to the forums in quite a few lengthy posts about changes coming in patch 2.1. Warriors are getting quite the overhaul as many of their abilities are being tweaked to make the class more on par with late-game paladin tanks. Look for many abilities and traits to grow in duration, strength, or utility once the patch goes live. Other classes will also be getting some love, as melee DPS classes will have their damage boosted by about 10%. For you crafters, Yoshi P talked about the rationale behind a Realm Reborn's current crafting and where they intend to take crafting in the future. Were you disappointed that the crafters couldn't make the top tier of gear? You weren't alone. Yoshi P explains that this was done for a number of reasons, most notably to combat RMT. Look for crafters to have a more prominent role after 2.1 hits the servers. Housing, we're looking at you here. On the lighter side of things, in two other posts, Yoshi P walked us through the upcoming tombstone cap increase. Finishing up, he answered a question we've seen in the comments on previous waypoints. Since patch 2.1 is getting so big, many have asked if this patch could be split into two smaller patches, with one releasing earlier. He summed up this question pretty quickly by saying that, yeah, this could be done, but to test the smaller patches would actually take longer than to implement the whole patch. Luckily, Live Letter 10 gave us new info on just how long we'll have to wait on patch 2.1, but we'll come back to that a little later. And that's what you call a tease, boys. Next up today is the rundown on the actual live letter that aired this past week. Broken into two parts, the first part of Live Letter 10 covered many of the PvE elements coming into patch 2.1, including the 24-man raid, the Crystal Tower. While many may be disappointed that you can only queue into the raid with an 8-man pre-made group and not an entire 24-man alliance, it was kind of cool to see that each party will receive loot to roll on, rather than having to roll against the full 24-person raid group. If large-scale raids aren't your thing, perhaps you'll be delighted to know that both Copperbell Mines and Hawk Manor will be receiving hard mode versions that require new strategies and even new paths to explore and conquer. If primals are more your cup of tea, Good King Moggle XII will make his return from version 1.0, and the 3 current primals will all receive extreme modes with full new loot tables. Add in an Ultima weapon, hard mode, and you have the beginnings of a PvE spectacular. Be sure to stay tuned to Waypoint, as Live Letter 11 will drop the rest of patch 2.1's information on December 14th. Okay, so if you didn't already know, Yoshi P did drop a date that we can expect to see patch 2.1. To be fair, he did specify this as a target date and left a bit of wiggle room for a delay if it became unavoidable. The magic date is December 17th. That's right, in less than 3 weeks you can hopefully have your hands on all the content we've talked about here, and that doesn't even mention PvP. So this week I figured I'd take you through how to get a few of the more popular minions we receive questions about. First up is everyone's favorite, the Cactuar clipping. If you didn't manage to scoop up this minion on your way to level 50, don't feel bad, a lot of people missed it. The quest is pretty straightforward and is not fate related. Just follow the hide-and-go-seek breadcrumbs to a few different zones and you'll soon have your little green friend. If you're having a hard time with the final phase of the quest and can't find the pot you need, take a look on the little ledge on the north side of the large hut on the cliff. Next up is the Baby Bat minion. This little guy is all a matter of timing, as the vendor in question moves around if fates are going on nearby. If you're looking to score this flying friend, head on over to Upper Lenosea. If you can manage to catch him, you can score the Baby Bat for a mere 2,400 gil. Lastly, we do get asked a lot about the Wind-Up Dalamud. This one requires a real-life purchase. This minion only comes with a code inside a copy of the Before Meteor soundtrack, and that'll set you back about $50. Nope, there's no other way to get it. If there's something else you'd like information about in future episodes, be sure to comment below. Before we move on, I want to tell you about Shutterstock.com. At Shutterstock, you'll find the perfect image or video for your next creative project. Whether it's for your website, a publication, an advertisement, a video, or any other type of project. You can choose from over 28 million high-quality stock photos, illustrations, vectors, and video clips. They add 20,000 images every single day, so every time you visit, you'll find something new. You can choose individual image packs or a monthly subscription for the best deal. And you can download any image in any size and pay only one price. Just use the offer code GameBreaker1213 and you'll receive 25% off your new account. That's GameBreaker1213. Okay, last up here on Waypoint, I again want to take some time to showcase your greatest work. Drawings, videos, or tattoos, if it's Final Fantasy XIV related, I want to see it. Throw it on up in the XIV forums in our art spots and I'll find it. This week, we check out Graham Frostrake's self-portrait. Don't jump to any conclusions, though. See what I did there? Dragoon? Jump? Okay, never mind. As the artist behind this male dragoon is a female talent who currently has a vote being taken on the XIV Nation forums to see what class gets her artistic treatment next. Head on over and cast your vote using the link below. That does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. Be sure to check back every week for updated Final Fantasy XIV news. I'm Kat Andresco, and you can follow me on Twitter @KatAndresco. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next Waypoint.
Game Breaker TV.